Let me ask you something honestly. Do you think the media only reports the news or also shapes how you think about it? Because those are two very different things. In South Africa, the media is positioned as the watchdog of democracy, neutral, objective, speaking truth to power. And that role is important. A democracy needs scrutiny, but scrutiny and framing are not the same thing. My argument is simple. The media doesn't just tell us what happened, it tells us how to interpret what happened, through tone, through language, through what gets emphasized and what gets downplayed. That's called media framing. Framing isn't always about lying, it's more subtle than that. It's about which words are used in headlines, which voices get quoted first, which context is included or excluded, and which political actors are given legitimacy. So the public doesn't just receive information, they receive interpretation. Let's take coalition governments as an example. When opposition coalitions form, look at the language used: fragile, unstable, at risk of collapse. The focus is on dysfunction, even before outcomes are measured. But when dominant parties fail to deliver services alone, the framing shifts: capacity constraints, historical backlogs, structural challenges, same governance failures, different emotional packaging. Look at court rulings too. When courts rule against the state, it's framed as victory for accountability, protection of constitutional democracy. But when courts block opposition-led initiatives, the discourse suddenly includes judicial activism, overreach, separation of powers concerns. Same judiciary, different narrative framing depending on who benefits politically. Even policy debates get framed selectively. Certain economic or structural policies are described as transformation, redress, equity-driven, while criticism of those same policies is framed as resistance, protection of privilege, anti-reform. So debate becomes moralized, not just analytical. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean every journalist is biased. It doesn't mean conspiracies. Framing can come from editorial culture, institutional ideology, source networks, historical narratives that shape reporting norms. It's systemic, not always intentional. But the impact is real, because framing shapes public trust, electoral perception, policy legitimacy, which actors are seen as credible. In other words, it shapes democracy. So here's the question I want you to think about. When you watch the news, are you getting raw information or curated interpretation? And if perception influences voters, how much political power actually sits in media framing? Full breakdown is in my latest article. Follow if you want deeper institutional analysis.